hardcore boxing fans out there, how are you doing? Big Porky here, the voice of hardcore boxing, and I hope you've subscribed as well, or I'll be coming to pay you a visit. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com. Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest comic sport. Today we're joined by Andy from up north, a fucking mumbling sweaty sock. How you doing, Andy?
I get the camera up, start video. There we go. How you getting on?
What have you put mumbling Andy on your profile for?
Andy's mumble.
People saying I'm bullying you on here, you know. If you have, we're living in an age where we can't have a bit of banter now. In fact, people abusing me in emails. Like, you're bullying Andy saying he's a sweaty sock. Well, he's a Scottish people called jocks. Oh, you're Scottish, aren't you? Right. So people call you jocks, don't they? Right. You're a jock. Now, people.
No, up here they don't.
Hey.
Don't call us that up here.
No, but we do, don't we? God knows what you call English, but if you're from Leeds, I were padding up in Armley, and there was this new screw started. He was Scottish, he was a big Rangers supporter, and this kid from Leeds, from Ariel's, come up to me and goes, "Who's the new sweaty sock?" I said, "What are you on about?" I didn't even know what a sweaty sock meant. I didn't even know what a sweaty sock meant at 21-year-old. He goes, "In there, no screw." I went, "Oh, I don't know. He's a Rangers fan. I remember it." And it always stuck in my head. Sweaty sock. And that's you, a jock. But if people are offended by that, I'm sorry.
Not really sweaty.
We're only having a bit of banter. He's my mate. So I do apologise. He's a Scotsman. You know, against Scottish people.
You're an honorary Scotsman from Bonnie Donny, yeah?
I am not listening to you mumbling.
Hey, and haggis for tea tonight. Haggis for tea tonight.
Haggis, there's nothing wrong with haggis. Hey, listen, when Billy Bremner used to pull up on our street to go see, Kevin who owns factory, to go to his house, I told you, and I've told this story many times, I was a fat kid with glasses on street with ball under arm and ice cream in other hand. There were always a ball in one arm and ice cream in the other. And I would always do when Billy pulled up in his Nissan Silvia. "How you doing, Billy?" So, "I'm all right. I'm all right, son." What you up to, Billy?" "I'm talking to you, son." That's what he used to say. "I'm talking to you." But, you all right then, yeah?
Not bad, not too bad.
A lot's been going on in boxing, and I'm sat here. The reason I'm not showing my mug on here, I always have a dig at people to come on Zoom and show the mug, but I'm caked in calamine lotion, mate.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's not good at the moment. Me and one of my dogs are in a right bad way, like scratching all the time. It's not measles. It's not bed bites. You know, I've got all them things I showed you, under legs at beds.
You're telling me,
Fortunes, aren't they? Full house to do. You get them steamers from Amazon for your beds, and new bedding.
Yeah.
Do you know what, mate? I'm scratching even more than ever now, so I'm going to see something on Friday. You've got to pay now. Listen, do you know NHS? If you raise your voice in doctors around here, especially over here at Wickersley, if you raise your voice, you're knackered, mate. They just strike you off. They struck me off. So I can't.
Yeah.
That's free one. I've been struck off 3 doctors in the area in the last 2 years because I've got no patience for NHS. They're a joke. They're an utter joke, mate. They are now. It's become a laughing stock. You try and get in at Rotherham up here in hospital, you've got 100 people outside who are from another country, sat waiting to go in. And then when you get in there, you've got 60, 70 people. So you can't just nip it. Listen, mate, I used to nip in at 3 morning at Donny back in the day. You're in and out 3 till 4. There's a thing on the wall, do you remember them, that says 4 hours before you can come to A&E. It's 12 hours now, isn't it? So as soon as you know that, you don't want to go there. So I've got to pay 85 quid. I've got to pay Friday. To see, so that's
we're lucky up.
To see
we're lucky up here. I've got a really good doctor. I can see the doctor quite easily up here, but we're quite fortunate. But
you know your doctor's up there, right? You know your doctor up there, Andy. Is it the same doctor you've had for years?
More or less, it's more or less. It's the same 1 or 2, 3 maybe people you see.
Well, let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this. Somebody in the doctor's practice in NHS, right? This is an outer hours practice in Donny Town Centre. I had to go there in End. I went to outer hours and they said to me, what we on about now? I got my fucking train of thought. I'm just hammering NHS doctors, mate. Listen, mate, they're useless. They said to me that NHS is now unwinding. So what do you mean? Unwinding? Well, unwinding from what? Because they've all milked it, all these areas, all they've done, all these people, these catchment areas. The top brass have milked it for years. It's that bad now that, you know, when you want to say, that's what I'll come back to. You know, your doctor, you see a regular doctor. When I was a kid, right, I used to have the same doctor from being born up to 35, 40.
Yeah.
Stop it all now because they say it's familiar. It breeds familiarity. For example, people were becoming friendly with the doctors. I know women that were getting the tits done and all sorts on NHS, taking piss because they built up a relationship with the doctor over years that they're putting everybody in for operation. Hey, you need an op, you need an op, you need an op. Look at me, Nana. My Nana had a cataracts done before she popped her clogs. She was 93, right? What's the point in giving her them in the 90s?
Yeah.
What's the point?
That's it.
She's been on waiting list since you were in the late 60s. Do you see where I'm coming from?
It's mad.
It's a joke, mate. She's been on waiting list since you were 80. She just snuffed it not long ago. But
it's the Tory government. Tory government. That's what I blame it.
NHS. It's a joke, mate. I've spent, I'm not going to say on here because there's too many grasses on here telling tales. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, a lot of money on operations because the NHS are a letdown, mate. They're a fucking letdown. From dentists to anything else. There's people dying left, right, and centre for their mistakes down. How many people work in NHS, right, who are nurses who you see when you're on them wards that can't do the fucking job? I see it. It's filthy. You know that Doncaster DRI down there? It's filthy and it stinks. And they don't give a shit because they're all agency workers. So why do I want to be part of NHS? You know, you're going to work. You're going to stop in a few nights if you've got to pay out. And that's how you've got to be. An health system now is going to get worse. So all them people who've got dough, hold on to it because you're going to need it down the line.
Yeah. We're lucky up here. Of
course you are, because you're in Scotland, a big empty country.
You need to move up here.
Mate, you'll try and get a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment in Lincoln, mate. You ain't got a chance. That's 40 miles from here.
It's like a 3-year waiting list for dentists down there or something. I heard that on the radio one day.
More than that, mate. More than that. Listen, mate.
That's crazy.
I couldn't get a dentist. I had to go pay. If you want out, you've got to pay. And that's just for start.
Pay for it.
Or if you're going with a stomach problem, you'll put it on waiting list. What you on about? I might be dead in 3 years.
Get somebody to phone and cancel it if you're dead. It's mental, eh? It's mad, eh? It's just disgusting,
Andy,
really.
Andy, why don't you don't give up your day job, mate, as a mechanic? Don't give it up, mate. Don't be a comedian or you. Anyway, let's get stuck into John Fury. I feel better about my life if I rinse that prick. Let me just have a piss. Toilet, Rick.
John the apologist. Yeah. We're lucky up here with the NHS down south, eh? But that's what you get when you get 13 years of corrupt Tory government. Absolutely ruining everything. Ruining it.
In the ring or on the hard ground. Pop, bang. My five are watching me from the moon, didn't you know? Be real, people. Be real. Fight me. Punch me first in the head. Punch me. Come on, let's have a fight. Let's have a fight. We've been persecuted for 400 years. Pop, bang. 200 kilo deadlifts with me cock end. He's had his all his pictures this last few months, but I think his 15 minutes might be up. I'll be seeing what they're doing. We don't want to bully Big John, but he does views. He pays me bills.
He's comedy gold, eh? He should be a comedian.
Listen, mate, he couldn't be a comedian, John Fury. He's just being normal. To him, he's not. He hasn't wrote a script. That's just, listen, mate, that's how he is 24/7. Did you see Dominic Negus tearing Big John Fury and I
seen that. Eh? He was maybe he'll have a fight with him.
I don't think they'll be having Dominic back out to start. I'm not bothered anyway. Dominic Negus is a stand-on guy. He's probably stripped to him, hasn't he? But I'm glad Dominic got a few quid out of the job, because you know what? Big John will be spewing, won't he? Because he's one of Mickey Theo's best pals.
That's right.
When I seen Dominic out there, because like Mark Tim speaks really highly of Dominic, so when I seen him out there, I was thinking to myself, wow, Dominic's out there doing security. I can't imagine it. Big John getting on. I can imagine Big John saying, "Yeah, pass me that over there, you security man." Dominic be like, oh, "I'll put you through a wall, mate." Who knows? Maybe Dominic Negus and John Fury might end up fighting down the line on a Misfits show. I'd get behind Dominic for that fight.
That'd be all right, yeah.
Same weight, same age. Why not? I want to see him in a fight, Andy. When's he going to have a fight, this man? He's been out of jail 8 years, 3 months. He's not had a fight. 99 months you've been out. It's like that song, isn't it? 99 99 months and you're still waiting for a fight. The worst matchmaker in the world is matching Big John Fury from Fury Power.
Do you ever hear from Mickey Theo? Do you ever hear from Mickey?
I don't
Is he still about?
I don't hear out from Mick now. He's probably just messing with his car pitch and all that, isn't he, Mick? Good luck to Mick, but he did get stuck into John. But listen, if truth be known, it could have happened. They both could have made it work, both of them. But to me, people got involved and a lot of paranoia.
The way I see it from the outside looking in, if I was Mickey Theo and I wanted to fight John Fury, that time he said, "Come up to that gym," I would have been up there, eh? If I was wanting to fight him. Should have gone up there, eh?
Mickey's got a gym in Buckhurst, still Essex.
That's what I would have done, but not that I'm wanting to fight anybody.
John Fury, all he had to do was go to that gym. And he said, right, Jimmy McDonald goes to that gym every day. No, Jim McDonald.
Jim McDonald, right?
James DeGale. Lovely one. Jim McDonald's at that gym every day. John Fury could have got in touch with Noel at that gym who runs it, or Mickey Theo, and said, "Look, we want to have a fight, but we want it to be fair. We don't want to be coming down there and ambush because everybody getting involved." We said, "No problem. Come down there." Jim McDonald would have got in that ring and been ref and let him get it. That's all. It would have been in a controlled environment. John could have gone down there, took all his lads. There wouldn't have been any trouble. But I think they shut his mouth off that much about being this big hard man on the hard road that I don't think he's frightened of fighting Mick. I think he'll probably frightened of being shown up, aesthetically looking wise, because Mick looks well stripped off, doesn't he, in his shorts? John didn't look so good. Did he look like a Teletubby? I think there was that, and the fact that if he didn't perform, Because he's bigged his son up as like King Kong, hasn't he? Well, he thought he could. He thought he could get away with it, didn't he? Until me and Mickey Theo got that footage, and him get nice, and then we burst his bubble. But still, he piped down, didn't he, for 16 months? Disappeared. The disappearing man. We couldn't get a peek out in, could we? And then once I caught dogs off, didn't I? A couple of years ago, about 27 months ago. We've had 27 months. We've had a stomach full of him, haven't we now? Right.
He's still shouting about fighting everybody, isn't he?
He's never had a fight in his. He's had one fight. I was out overnight in Bury. Somebody come up to me and said, "Look, he has had a fight, one fight, and he won this fight. He smashed this guy up. He's had one, not 100, one. And that didn't even start as a straightener. John clipped him on quiet. So is that even a straightener? But the guy got in, yeah. But John didn't. So he's had one fight on record, and let's say it was a bare knuckle. Let's give him this bare knuckle title. He's had one. Where's the £100,000 fight he had when he was shouting off? And some newspaper interviewed him. He couldn't think of man's name. Andy, me and you got at it for a tenner. You'd remember my name, wouldn't you? Mine, $100,000. So what happens is, once you tell a lie, John, you got to tell another, or you got to shut it down, like that 7 million to charity, or that 1 million to Piers Morgan. We're still waiting on. So stop crying about your 200 grand, John Fury, to KSI, about KSI. He ain't getting you a sausage. I think he should pay you. If you won the bet, John, he should pay. My pal Julian McGowan thinks the same. But if he don't want to eat you, you've got to go into Big John mode, haven't you? Do what you do best. Do what you do best, John, like on the thumbnail. Do what you do best. You're the man. Or keep talking about it. There's talkers and there's smoky bacon walkers. Either go hunt him down and fill him in or shut up about it. But don't come on social media saying, I want me 200 grand. And then when you realise that he's said you're not having it, because he's been ringing him up, hasn't he, Big John? Big John, tell him you've been ringing him up, John, and they put you on hold about an hour. 3 days later, you've gone berserk and said, I don't want the money anyway. I don't want it. I want to give it to charity. Listen, John Fury walking into an hospital with 200 grand for cancer patients. He's just pissed general public off on it last couple of weeks, and now he wants to give 200 grand to charity. Well, if KSI don't give you the 200, John, why don't you dip into your stash and give it the cancer people out your own pocket? Because that 200 grand's note to you, John, is it? That's note. So tip the 200 up to cancer people, like you said. And KSI will have a double or quits to our next fight when Tommy and him fight. But in future, John, why don't you do what real men do? You want to bet 200 grand, put it in a carrier bag and get somebody to hold it. All you had to do was get Frank Warren to hold it. That's all you had to do. And you'd have distributed their money and get KSI's 200 off him, and there's 400 in pot. But could you? They couldn't think ahead, could they? Just wanted to shout and bawl for views. And then once he realises he won't bet, he wants his 200. When you place a bet in a bookies, John, you have to give him 200, you know. You can't just say, I'll have 200 on that horse. And when horse don't win, you can't just disappear. You've got to pay your 2, haven't you? Or if it wins, you'll be in for your 2, won't you?
Give him an IOU.
Look, listen, speaking to people I know, listen, John, I know you're listening, John. Or you, big fat Shane, I know you're listening, fat man. Well, let me just say this. That 200 grand, you wouldn't have paid it, so stop crying at him. All right? Pop, pop, poppy pop.
I like Shane. I like Shane. He's got a balanced opinion on things, doesn't he?
Shane would love you and look at you, mate. They're all building him up as this saint. Jesus Christ. Do you think Shane wouldn't lift your leg if he had a chance? Do you think Shane's never sold a car with no engine? Of course he has. Well, that's cheap. I'll have that, Shane. Yeah, it's key. There's no engine in it, Shane. When it's sold a steam. You think they have stuff like that? He's about best one out lot. But listen, mate, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. They're all playing the little roles that complement each other. They've got to wheel somebody out to press, haven't they? Because they can't wheel Captain Chaos out, can they? With 2 brain cells in his numbskull head, can they?
Booting tables over.
Billy Liar can't be wheeled out, can he? Like, Jesus. Anyway, moving on from the adventures of Tintin. I'm going to go through these and hope that Tintin don't pop up. As predicted, the Bricktop sit down with in-house long-term PR guy, Danny Flexen, the Gads pal. What did you think to that, Porky? Well, as you know, I said that Danny Flexen would be doing a Monday Mass dinner at some point this week with Bricktop. Well, there you go, you've seen it, haven't you? 30 minutes. He had him on hook. Bricktop, what's happening with this pay-per-view? Atman and everybody and the dog says you've done no views. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Next question.
Was it 10,000 views? Was I hearing right? That was.
I heard 50,000 American or something. Either way,
right.
Done poor. Andy, if he'd have done 1 million, he'd have come out when he's screaming it.
Nah, yeah.
Quiet, aren't they?
Yeah.
But when he asked him the question, Bricktop went, I don't want to get into all that. Stop. Stop. Full stop. No paragraph, capital letter. Right, here we go, Bricktop. What happened? Flexen asked you a question, and what did you say? I don't want to get into all that. Flexen, I know you're listening as well, you wrong'un. We know what you were coming out with, to Sonny Edwards' sister, don't we? You wrong'un, Flexen. So that's where you are in my book. You would never be able to sit in my company and have it with people I have it with. Anyway, let's put Flexen straight. What Flexen should have said, what it is, Frank, there's a rumour going around, it's all over social media and established figures in the media that your show ain't done so good. What you got to say? Can you elaborate on it? He ain't, has he? Bricktop, all Bob Arum, Furies, none of them. So they couldn't say anything about that. And then we've got the fight itself. Oh, you've seen that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've watched it now about 8 times. I can't separate them. 3 rounds each and 2 each shared, 4 shared.
Yeah.
But he had a knockdown the other kid, didn't he?
Mm.
So
I think I said to you, I watched it initially. When I watched it, I thought he's lucky to get away with a draw here. That's the best he could hope for, was a draw. But when I watched it a few days later, I think I said to you, I watched it. The footage I watched was just from one side of the ring.
Yeah.
But it was good footage. But I had Fury winning by a round. You could have maybe said 2, but it's definitely winning by a round, which surprised me after my initial viewing when I watched it live. So I don't know. It's not clear.
You had Fury by a round, Andy.
Yeah. When I watched it back, yeah. Not when I watched it initially, but when I watched it back and re-analysed it, just myself with no volume on, I had Fury by a round.
I had it to other guy by a round. The 4 rounds, you couldn't separate them.
Yeah, it wasn't you couldn't say it was a robbery or that, but it was a disappointing performance from Fury. And I don't know if I was more surprised Ngannou was doing a lot better than I expected him to do, or he was just handling Fury easier than I expected. But I didn't know much about Ngannou. He was kind of, I think I said the week before, playing devil's advocate, we said, you don't know what he's bringing to the table because nobody knows. He was kind of, apart from Joe Joyce said he'd sparred him, didn't he? And he said he could box. So that's all you had to go on. That's all I'd ever heard about him. But, and I don't watch UFC, so. But I knew he was quite formidable in that from what I heard. But I'm not familiar with UFC much.
World champion, wasn't he?
Big strong man. He took away Fury's inside game just with his strength, and he couldn't push him about. He's used to pushing people about, isn't he? So push him about.
Media shit the pants anyway. Shit their pants, the lot of them. All of them. Only talks about got stuck into them. All these YouTubers like Coogan and Flexen and Nicholas Parsons, all these lickers, grown men licking male arsehole. Lickers who've got no respect for themselves. Well, what are they going to do? They bump into me. What are they going to do? Say, Porky, you called me a licker. What? I say, what are you going to fucking do about it? What are you going to do about it? What do you want to do? They said, no, let's crawl away, mate. Lickers. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
They know what they are, but they're lickers. Now, all them people that are calling them lickers in the industry, stop it, because you'll be licking their arseholes to do PR for you on Monday. So don't be two-faced telling me that the lickers. Go tell them Go tell them on your social. Don't fucking tell me. Tell them. Sorry for.
And they might be even more wary now about calling anybody out after Fury banned TalkSport from they'll be scared they get banned as well, because of that.
Well, that's it. Well, that's what they've done. They took TalkSport out of the game, and the rest of them will fall into line.
Yeah.
But not everybody's going to fall into line either, because I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies. I don't like people in boxing who try and intimidate people, because half of them have got no knackers whatsoever. We all know about Big John Fury when he got sentenced in Crown Court, don't we? If you don't believe me, go and watch my most viewed video. Pop, pop, bang. We all know what happened there about him collapsing in dog and begging letters sent to judge and crying in the dog like a little girl because he got a 9. Jesus Christ, man. Big, tough, fighting man. Cry, baby. For what? For taking a man's eye out who's 5'4". Rate hard man, innit? Rate hard fighting man, that, innit? Eh? In front of his teenage kids who were still at school. Rate proud of him. Should be rate proud of you saying Big John. Eh? Nobody asked him about that, do they? They're not going to put it on him about that, are they?
No, I've never heard anybody asking him, eh? Never heard.
He's a fucking bully, aren't you, John Fury? A fucking bully. Right. 5 to 7 times on floor, Fury. Now, hang on a minute. 5 to 7. No, question 5, sorry. 7 times on floor, Fury. In his career now. Is he fucking chinless or what? Is he weak around the whiskers?
No, well, he gets back up, doesn't he? He didn't look badly hurt, I didn't think, even against Ngannou. And how he got up against Wilder in that third fight, you know that, was it the first knockdown in the third fight? Jesus Christ, that was when it hit him right in the forehead and you seen the big shockwave going down through his body. How he got up for that, I've no idea. I think he can be quick, but his powers of recovery are good, I would say. A bit like Nassim Hamid was a bit like that, didn't he? He could get clipped and go down, but he was all right when he got up.
Nassim Hamid?
He got knocked down a few times, didn't he?
Clifton Mitchell bust his nose in sparring at Ingles Gym years ago, you know.
Did he, yeah?
Bust his nose, yeah. Could whack Clifton.
Yeah, a size difference there, is there?
Just a bit like, but that's what Nas wanted to do. He wanted to test himself, didn't he? But it's like you're not allowed to hit me, though, isn't it? Well, Clifton let him have one, didn't he? Put a bit of shoulder. Clifton put a bit of shoulder into it.
Bit of body span.
I spoke to one of his brothers a few weeks after, actually, up there, and he said Nas were going mad over it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Has Nas just lost one of his brothers? Did I see somewhere? Yeah. Was it Ali Hamid?
Ali Hamid, yeah. Not at Ingles went to funeral either.
Oh, no, that's not very good, is it?
Oh, it's just people fall out, don't they, in boxing?
Yeah. But still, even supposing he was thinking he would still show a bit of respect and go to the funeral.
Yeah, you would. Well, Nas put him on map, didn't he? Let's have it right.
Yeah.
Frank Bruno, he went down 7 times. Lennox Lewis were never down 7 times. But yeah, Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis are always told that they're chinning. Now, Fury's been down 7 times in the ring that we know of. How many in sparring? We don't know, but I know a few that have done it in sparring. But the point I want to make is, could Fury be put in the chinless bracket?
No, I wouldn't say so. No, in my opinion.
After being on floor 7 times.
But if he stayed on the floor, I would say so. Or he was on rubber legs when he got up. But he always seems all right when he gets up there. No matter how hard the knockdown is.
So, yeah, it seems to bring out the best in him, doesn't it?
It seems to waken him up, doesn't it? It's I never ever thought Bruno was chinny. I thought it was more a stamina issue with him.
Did you?
He used to go into like a shutdown mode, didn't he? When he never really went down, did he? He just kind of
Mike Tyson dropped him, didn't he? Mike Tyson dropped him in first fight in first 10 seconds.
Just a flash knockdown, no way. Kind of caught him on the top of the head.
The first one, I won it. Yeah, the first Bruno one, flash knockdown.
He had a go though. Bruno had a go in that first fight, but he was petrified in the second fight, wasn't he? The mind games got to him, didn't it? With Tyson's henchman, that guy, it was a Crocodile Fitch or whatever his name was. They were all.
I'll tell you a little story about that second one, right? They're waiting for knock on door for the second one, yeah?
Yeah.
It was a Wembley, wasn't it? Second one against... No, we're in America.
America.
Against McCall at Wembley and defended it against Tyson in America. And I listened to
right.
Morlands with my mate from Hyde Park, right? Listen to this. Bruno, they knocked on his door and said 5 minutes. And up until then, he were gonna do everything. He were in control. And then they went, and Bricktop turned around and he went, 5 minutes, Frank. And Bricktop, this is Bricktop's words, isn't it, Bricktop? Years later, though, he said he looked over at Frank and he says he went white. He said if you go look in Bruno's column, it's in his column, Bricktop's column. He says he went white and that alt colour drained out of him, and that were it. He looked at Gallows, wasn't it? Even though Tyson was shot to bits, wasn't he? Patched up, wasn't he? Backstage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he handed the title over to him, didn't it? But they on the paper of it cracked with Tyson. He lost it a year later, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Bruno didn't surrender quite as easy as Bruce Seldon. Remember, he went down with a punch over the top of his head, remember?
Yeah, the equilibrium job, that, wasn't
it? Yeah, the draft must have knocked him down, I think.
Yeah. Why make the fight for 23rd of December, 8 weeks after Ngannou, then say it's not long enough to do it? So why announce it anyway?
It's premature, eh? That was. I think if he'd beaten Ngannou easy, he would have probably gone with that. But it wasn't. Was he banking on? I don't think he was banking on his harder fight, was he? So I've never seen him look so knackered after a fight, Fury. He looked like a beaten man. Eh? After that fight, he just looked absolutely knackered. There was no singing songs. There was no big interviews or anything like that, was there? There was no fanfare. It was. To me, he looked like a beaten man, eh? But he looked absolutely exhausted. Now, either hadn't trained properly, had he overtrained? Was he jaded? Did he lose weight too quick? Or was it just the fact Ngannou was so strong? Maybe Ngannou tired him out in the clinches. He's not used to somebody stronger than him, is he? Could be a number of it could be a combination of these things, but either way, he just looked knackered after it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Do you see Fury doing what he did with Vladimir? You know, where they had it nailed on for rematch, it was all signed, sealed, delivered, and all that, and he just decided no.
Do you mean for the Usyk fight?
Yeah.
Nah, I think he's got to fight Usyk now. I think it will happen, but it's not going to happen before Christmas, is it? It's going to be maybe, is it February they're talking now?
Well, I
think he will fight him. I think he will fight him. That's my feeling. Like, I'll believe it when I see the weigh-in, though. But I've got a feeling he will fight. I think he's embarrassed, and he's going to prove himself, and he'll feel embarrassed because everybody's kind of turned against him. There's a majority of people saying he got beat by Ngannou, so I think he's got something to prove now. So that might drive him on. You might actually see a good performance from him. But that'll tell us. That'll be. Go on.
I'll leave a long pause because every time you pause and I come in to talk, you fucking pipe up, don't you prick? You Scotch cunt.
It's not deliberate.
Right, Mr. Sweaty Sock. Pie checks dropped him, Cunningham, Ngannou, and Wilder 4 times, and you're saying he's not chinny. All right, you know your boxing. But the Vladimir rematch, he never took that because Vladimir figured him out at end of first one. He knew that Fury. He ran for his life after he got clipped in 10th, didn't he? Right, so we knew that, but he was over hills and far away by that stage, wasn't it? But they did try him because they took a point of him late on. What he did against Vladimir, I thought, was brilliant because he was unbeatable at the time. He developed a style that nobody could get near. And you see where I'm coming from. So he was the perfect foil to beat him. Now, he didn't take the Vladimir one. Now, this is what I think's happened here. I might be wrong, but very rare I am lately. Fury has signed for Ngannou fight. They give him all them millions, but they couldn't get it over the line because Fury didn't want that Usyk fight, but they had to beef that Ngannou money up to give him the Usyk 2 fights. If that's part of that Ngannou deal, he'll have had his Ngannou money, but he might not have had it all. If he's done one saying, I'm hard at game, I'm not fighting Usyk, he just might want to park his sen up and let the landscape change so he don't have people going on about him fighting Usyk, because you remember he didn't take the Luis Ortiz fight. We remember Vladimir fight were offered to him 46 months before they eventually fought him. So they're like 4 years, isn't the difference there?
All right.
He had that fight 4 years before and he didn't. They waited for Vladimir to get to 40, didn't he? He can easily wait out Usyk. He's knocking on and he's not going to be around much longer. And Fury could come back at any time and still make a living. But when I look through his CV and I hear all this GOAT stuff, I see McDermott, issue with that, an issue with Wallin, an issue with Vladimir rematch. I've just told you, Pycek, Cunningham, and Garner Wilder have all dropped him. He's not a GOAT. There's no GOATness on the TV. He's fucking way off. Go look at Lennox Lewis's TV, Muhammad Ali's. They're way ahead.
Way ahead, eh?
4 and 5 times more wins over world champions and top guys. So he's got a lot of ground to make up now. If he's not going to fight till another year from now or whatever, where is he going? Because he's had 8 fights now. He's fighting every 10 months. Since he fought Vladimir at first time, he's fought every 10 months. They expected him to fight twice in 8 weeks. I said it wouldn't happen. People shot me down and called me a bedroom blogger, didn't they? Is it happening?
No, you're right. And like I said a few months back, maybe 6 months ago, I said to you, my fear is we're missing the best of him. I feel his best days are flying by and he's no fighting. He's gone. His legs have gone, and he's altered the style to adapt around the legs being gone, like you've seen in the third Wilder fight. But he is, I think his best days are slipping away, and he's how often is he going to fight? He's got too much ground to make up, isn't he? And not enough time to do it. But like you say, he needs more quality and top-notch wins, doesn't he? Before he can. I mean, he has had the wins against Wilder are good, and the win against Klitschko is good. But where else? I think Vitaly. I don't think he would have beat Vitaly Klitschko. I think Vitaly Klitschko was a underrated fighter. He had an awkward style, didn't he? And he was tougher than Vladimir. That's my feeling. Or he would, if he beat him, he would have had a harder job beating him. That's a better way of putting it.
You reckon, yeah?
I think I really rated Vitaly Klitschko. I thought he was a really good champion, wasn't he?
Tyson weren't queuing up for him when he had WBC, was he?
Yeah, he barely lost a round when he was a WBC champion.
I think he lost about 5 rounds in his old WBC reign, didn't he? Which were like won it at the time for an heavyweight.
Oh, he was quality.
Yeah.
I thought he was way better than Vladimir. Vladimir maybe hit a bit harder, but I thought Vitaly was a better fighter. Tougher. He was a tougher guy.
Don Charles has piped up.
Big Daddy Don, is he?
Big Daddy Don's piped up. He's got a lot to say about the bar loss and Chisora Ngannou. So Chisora will turn up for Ngannou. He's still championing Derek Chisora. He's not going to be happy till Chisora's buzzing around London, not in a Mercedes smart car, being something
smart car.
No, forget that. It won't be something that small because he's free down there for tax and all emissions. No, he'll be in a wheelchair if he's left.
Electric one,
electric wheelchair, won't he, with free tax on pit? But it'll be DVLA or disability living allowance, whatever they call it. Pop on that one.
He'll be in one of the old blue 3-wheelers. Remember the old blue 3-wheeler disabled cars?
Yeah, them light blue ones. Them light blue ones that old boys used to like. Yeah.
They're always blue, eh?
Oh, that one that bloke in Spain when me and Sparkling John overtook him on that road in Spain. Do you remember that in Spain? But getting back to Don Charles, Daddy Don, I won't let him train a monkey. I won't, man. I don't think he's a very good trainer. Nah. He talks a good game like the rest of them, but what sort of trainer takes a fighter back 6 times who keeps leaving him for other trainers? That's a brass, in my opinion. So that's first.
Desperate.
Well, if ever somebody said, I want you to do a bit of work with him, if it were something other than boxing, I'd be like, oh, yeah, what's he like? Oh, he's all right. I say he's a fucking brass. He's a brass, him, Don Charles. What man takes his wife back 6 times?
Mug.
A mug, there you go. So I want
Desperate Don.
Yeah, so
Desperate Don, eh?
if Tyson Fury leaves Sugar Hill, I want Don Charles to train him because he trains serial losers. Well, who's Don Charles training? Who's a winner then? Who? He fed his own son, didn't he? He took his own son, didn't he, to meat market last year, was it, or year before?
Did he?
His own son, George Fox, that heavyweight, he sent him to meat market, didn't he? Like Klitschko's were taking people to meat market every 3 months for years. Like Eddie Chambers, Davey Day, all the rest of them. Povetkin. Okay, let's mix it up a little bit more. What's the matter? Why are you showing me your teeth all the time? Hey.